You need to hear this if you're concerned about our future. Go to JillStein2024.com to volunteer, sign up, donate, read her platform, and start verbally campaigning for Dr. Jill Stein in real-life conversations. Also subscribe to Amanda Marie Brinkley's channel, a proud member of the GenX for Jill community volunteers. We stand at a crossroads. Our planet is warming. Inequality is rampant. The signs are all around us, from the melting ice caps to the rising sea levels, from the widening gap between the rich and the poor to the systemic injustices that plague our societies. We can no longer ignore the urgent calls for change. Our democracy is under threat. The very foundations of our political systems are being shaken by corruption, voter suppression, and the influence of money in politics. The voices of the people are being drowned out by the interests of the few. We must reclaim our democracy and ensure that it serves everyone, not just the privileged elite. Dr. Jill Stein has been a relentless advocate for this cause. The old ways of doing things have failed us. Economic systems never promised prosperity for all, and corporations have never in history been held to account. Communities are struggling, jobs are disappearing, and the promise of the American dream feels out of reach for too many. It's time to rethink our approach and build an economy that works for everyone. Dr. Jill Stein's vision for economic justice is what we need. We need a radical shift, a Green New Deal to tackle both climate change and economic injustice. This comprehensive plan aims to create millions of good-paying jobs while addressing the climate crisis head-on. By investing in renewable energy, sustainable infrastructure, and green technologies, we can pave the way for a just and sustainable future. Dr. Jill Stein has championed this cause tirelessly. We need universal healthcare to ensure healthcare is a right, not a privilege. No one should have to choose between paying for medicine and putting food on the table. Universal healthcare would provide comprehensive care for everyone, including dental, vision, mental health, and pharmaceuticals, regardless of their income or employment status, and ensure that no one is left behind. Dr. Jill Stein has been a vocal advocate for universal healthcare. The time for incremental change is over. We cannot afford to wait any longer. The challenges we face are too great and the stakes are too high. We need bold, transformative action to address the crises of our time and create a better future for all. Dr. Jill Stein's leadership is crucial in this fight. The time for bold action is now. We must come together, united in our determination to make a difference. Our collective power can drive the change we need, but it requires courage, commitment, and a willingness to fight for what is right. Dr. Jill Stein embodies this spirit. This isn't just another election. This is a pivotal moment in history, a chance to choose a path that leads to justice, equality, and sustainability. Every vote counts, and every voice matters. We must engage, participate, and make our voices heard. Dr. Jill Stein's campaign is a beacon of hope. This is about our future, our children's future. The decisions we make today will shape the world they inherit. We owe it to them to fight for a planet that is healthy, a society that is fair, and a future that is bright. Dr. Jill Stein's vision is for our children and their future, the future of the planet. Our natural world is under siege from pollution, deforestation, and climate change. We must act now to protect our environment, preserve biodiversity, and ensure that future generations can enjoy the beauty and resources of our planet. Dr. Jill Stein has been a steadfast defender of the environment. We cannot afford to be complacent. The challenges we face require urgent and decisive action. Complacency is not an option when the stakes are this high. We must be vigilant, proactive, and relentless in our pursuit of justice and sustainability. Dr. Jill Stein's urgency and resolve inspire us all. We cannot afford to sit on the sidelines. Every individual has a role to play in this movement, whether it's through activism, advocacy, or simply making more sustainable choices in our daily lives. We all have the power to contribute to positive change. But we need more than just better choices. We need people to volunteer, to engage actively in their communities, and to vote for politicians who genuinely care about people, the planet, and peace. Dr. Jill Stein has been a tireless advocate for these values. We need to rise up and demand change. Our voices are powerful, and when we come together, we can achieve incredible things. It's time to stand up for what we believe in and work towards a future that reflects our values and aspirations. Dr. Jill Stein's leadership is a rallying cry for us all, a future where people and planet come before profit. By prioritizing the well-being of our communities and the health of our environment, we can create a society that is equitable, sustainable, and resilient. This vision is not just a dream, it is a necessity. Dr. Jill Stein's vision aligns with these principles. A future where everyone has access to healthcare, education, and a living wage. These are fundamental rights that should be guaranteed to all. By investing in our people and ensuring that everyone has the opportunity to thrive, we can build a stronger, more inclusive society. Dr. Jill Stein has been a champion for these rights. This is the future we deserve. A future where justice, equality, and sustainability are at the forefront. A future where everyone has the opportunity to live a fulfilling and dignified life. This is the vision we must strive for. Dr. Jill Stein's campaign embodies this vision. This is the future we must fight for. It won't come easily, and it won't come without struggle. But with determination, solidarity, and a clear vision, we can achieve the change we seek. We must be relentless in our pursuit of a better world. Dr. Jill Stein's determination is a guiding light. The stakes have never been higher. The decisions we make today will have far-reaching consequences for generations to come. We must act with urgency and resolve to address the crises we face and secure a livable future for all. Dr. Jill Stein's urgency is a call to action. The time for action is now. We cannot wait any longer. The challenges are immense, but so is our capacity for change. Together, we can create a future that is just, sustainable, and full of hope. Let's rise to the occasion and make it happen. Dr. Jill Stein's leadership is essential in this moment. If you believe in this vision, join us in spreading the word. Subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share it with your friends and family. Together, we can amplify our message and drive the change we need. Thank you for your support. We need volunteers for the campaign right now. We need to communicate with every generation and ensure that everyone cares about the planet before November 5th, 2024. The Green Party has been fighting the moral and ethical fight for decades. Now it's time the American people wake up and pay attention. Mainstream media and social media companies won't get the word out. We, the people, have to get the word out for the Green Party. Capitalism does not favor the Green Party. Let's spread the word about the Green Party. They care about people, the planet, animals, and peace. Join us in this fight for a better future. Dr. Jill Stein's leadership is crucial in this fight. You need to hear this if you're a Gen Xer. We are the latchkey kids, the cynics, the ones who grew up with the Cold War and the Reagan Revolution. We've seen it all. We've heard it all. We're not easily fooled by empty promises and political spin. We know the system is rigged against us. We know the game is fixed. We remember a time before the internet, before cell phones, before the 24-hour news cycle. We remember when communities were strong and people looked out for each other. Corporations were never held accountable. They're still not held accountable. It's a harsh reality. We remember when the American dream seemed within reach. We're tired of the status quo. We're tired of the corruption. We're tired of being ignored. We want a better future for ourselves, for our children, and for the planet. Corporations have been exploiting us for decades, and their grip has only tightened over the years. It's time to face the harsh reality and stop whitewashing their history. We need to refreeze the polar ice caps. This is not a joke, it's a worldwide project. We must use STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math to solve the world's problems. Refreezing the ice caps with ice, snow, and cloud cover is the most obvious solution to global ocean rise. This needs to be a worldwide project. We don't need global war. We need global projects. We need global infrastructure building. We need global solutions for clean air, clean water, and healthy soils that produce nutrient-dense foods worldwide. We need to use all of the land remarkably well. We should discuss weather control and increasing rain cover around the world. We need to build irrigation systems and technology that use zero-point energy. The deep state keeps crucial information from us, which is absolutely unacceptable. Government agencies and the military-industrial complex withhold vital information that is essential for the advancement of humankind. We need to confront this issue head-on. The concept of zero-point energy is a fascinating and complex topic. It refers to the lowest possible energy that a quantum mechanical system may have. Unlike in classical mechanics, quantum systems constantly fluctuate in their lowest energy state due to the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. This means that even at absolute zero, particles still possess a certain amount of energy, known as zero-point energy. The implications of harnessing this energy are vast and could revolutionize our understanding of physics and energy production. Imagine a world where zero-point energy powers our cities and transforms our approach to energy. This is the future we must strive for, a future where science and technology lead the way to a better world. Dr. Jill Stein has been a relentless advocate for these changes. She understands the urgency and the need for a new direction. With Dr. Jill Stein, we have a leader who is not afraid to challenge the status quo and push for the radical changes we need. Dr. Jill Stein represents the voice of a generation that remembers, that demands accountability, and that fights for a sustainable future. It's time to rally behind Dr. Jill Stein and make our voices heard. The time is now. Am I the only one that didn't know how powerful nostalgia could be? Remember the feeling of putting on your Walkman for the first time? The excitement of hearing your favorite tunes in a way that felt so personal and intimate? The crackle of a new cassette tape as your favorite song began to play? The anticipation as you waited for the music to start? The slight hiss of the tape adding to the charm? That feeling of pure, unadulterated freedom as you rode your bike down the street? The wind rushing past your face? The world unfolding before you with endless possibilities? The wind in your hair? Remember the thrill of playing arcade games until your quarters ran out? The joy of mastering a game? The camaraderie of sharing those moments with friends? The anticipation of a Friday night movie with friends, popcorn and candy in hand? The shared laughter, the collective gasps, the feeling of being part of something bigger? Remember the joy of a simpler time before the world felt so complicated and divided? The pleasure of a picnic in the park, the simple act of flying a kite, the sense of community and togetherness, that feeling, that's the feeling of possibility, of hope, the belief that anything was possible, that the future was bright and full of promise. It's the feeling we need to reclaim. The truth is, we can create a better future, a future where we come together to make a difference, where our actions today shape a better tomorrow. And that's why Dr. Jill Stein's vision is so important, a future where we take care of each other and the planet, where we work hand in hand to protect our environment, to ensure that future generations inherit a world worth living in. Dr. Jill Stein's commitment to environmental justice is a beacon of hope, a future where everyone has the opportunity to thrive, where diversity is celebrated, where every individual has the chance to reach their full potential, to contribute to the greater good. Dr. Jill Stein's policies aim to create such a world, but it won't happen by accident. It will take all of us working together to make it happen. It will require dedication, compassion, and a shared vision of what we can achieve together. Dr. Jill Stein's leadership can guide us there. Let's remember those times and let them inspire us to build a future that is just as bright and hopeful. This is going to blow your mind. Section 4, a vision for a just future. Dr. Jill Stein offers a bold vision for the future. Dr. Jill Stein's vision is not just a dream, but a well-thought-out plan that addresses the core issues facing our society today. Dr. Jill Stein envisions a future where healthcare is a right, not a privilege. Imagine a world where everyone, regardless of their income or background, has access to quality healthcare services. Dr. Jill Stein believes no one should have to choose between paying for medicine and putting food on the table. Dr. Jill Stein sees a future where education is affordable and accessible to all. Dr. Jill Stein envisions a society where every child has the opportunity to learn and grow without the burden of crippling student debt. From early childhood education to higher education, Dr. Jill Stein believes learning should be a lifelong journey available to everyone. Dr. Jill Stein advocates for a transition to 100% renewable energy, creating millions of good-paying jobs in the process. This transition, according to Dr. Jill Stein, is not just about protecting the environment. It's about building a sustainable economy that works for everyone. Renewable energy projects can revitalize communities and provide new opportunities for growth. Dr. Jill Stein understands the urgency of the climate crisis and the need for a Green New Deal. The climate crisis is not a distant threat, it is happening now, and Dr. Jill Stein insists we must act swiftly and decisively. The Green New Deal, championed by Dr. Jill Stein, is a comprehensive plan to address climate change while also tackling economic inequality. Dr. Jill Stein knows that we cannot afford to wait any longer to address this existential threat. Every day we delay, the impacts of climate change become more severe. Dr. Jill Stein is committed to taking immediate action to reduce carbon emissions and invest in sustainable practices. Dr. Jill Stein is committed to fighting for environmental justice and protecting our planet for future generations. This means not only reducing pollution, but also ensuring that all communities, especially those most affected by environmental degradation, have a say in the decisions that impact their lives. Dr. Jill Stein believes in a government that works for the people, not for corporations or special interests. Dr. Jill Stein advocates for policies that prioritize the needs of ordinary citizens over the profits of big businesses. This includes breaking up monopolies and ensuring fair competition in the marketplace. Dr. Jill Stein supports campaign finance reform, getting money out of politics and overturning Citizens United. The influence of money in politics undermines democracy and erodes public trust. Dr. Jill Stein is dedicated to creating a political system where every voice is heard and every vote counts. Dr. Jill Stein believes in a truly democratic society where everyone has a voice. This means expanding voting rights, ensuring fair representation, and fostering a culture of civic engagement. Dr. Jill Stein's vision is one where democracy is vibrant, inclusive, and responsive to the needs of all its citizens. This is the people, planet, and peace over profits plan of Dr. Jill Stein's. Stop listening to the mainstream media. Do your own research instead. Section 5, Breaking Through the Media Blackout. The mainstream media won't tell you about Dr. Jill Stein's platform. They won't tell you about Dr. Jill Stein's commitment to social justice, economic equality, and environmental sustainability. They're too busy protecting the status quo to give Dr. Jill Stein the coverage she deserves. They're too busy promoting the same old tired narratives, ignoring Dr. Jill Stein's revolutionary ideas. But we're not buying it. We're smarter than that. We know Dr. Jill Stein's vision is what we need. We know how to find our own information about Dr. Jill Stein. We know how to think for ourselves and see the value in Dr. Jill Stein's proposals. We have the power to break through the media blackout and bring Dr. Jill Stein's message to light. We have the power to share Dr. Jill Stein's message with our friends, families, and communities. We have the power to amplify Dr. Jill Stein's voice and challenge the status quo. This is why you need to mobilize now. Section 6, our time to mobilize. The time for complacency is over. The time for action is now. We need to do more than just vote. We need to mobilize for Dr. Jill Stein. We need to organize. We need to make our voices heard for Dr. Stein. Talk to your friends and family about Dr. Jill Stein. Share Dr. Stein's platform on social media. Volunteer for her campaign. Donate what you can. Every little bit helps. This isn't just about one election. This is about taking back our democracy with Dr. Jill Stein. This is about creating the future we want to see. We are Generation X. We are the ones we've been waiting for. Dr. Jill Stein is the leader we've been waiting for. I bet you didn't know how powerful we are when we unite. Section 7. Together, we rise. We have more in common than what divides us. We all want a better future for ourselves, for our children, and for the planet. We all want clean air to breathe, clean water to drink, and a healthy planet to live on. We all want a society that is just, equitable, and sustainable. Dr. Jill Stein offers a path forward. Dr. Jill Stein offers a vision for a better future, a future where we can all thrive. But Dr. Jill Stein can't do it alone. She needs our help. She needs our energy. She needs our voices. Together with Dr. Jill Stein, we can make a difference. Together with Dr. Jill Stein, we can create the change we want to see in the world. Together we rise. Visit jillstein2024.com to volunteer, sign up, donate, and read her platform. Start verbally campaigning for Dr. Jill Stein in your real-life conversations. And don't forget to subscribe to Amanda Marie Brinkley's channel, a proud member of the GenX for Jill Community Volunteers.